Welcome back to the All Things Considered Disc Golf podcast, where we consider all things disc golf. I am your host, Jacob, joined as always by Cameron. Cameron, tell the people what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, off week for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So we have Go Throw Tour and we had the Jonesboro Open. Those are kind of the two big ones. Yeah. We have our own tournament that's happening very, very soon. We'll talk about that. And then this is actually the last week we will be in here for probably
a little while. A month?
Probably pushing a month, I think, because I'm going back out to shoot more 50 state videos. So, without further ado, let's get started here. Do we want Go Throw Tour first?
Let's do Go Throw Tour first.
All right, Go Throw Tour was down at Persimmon Ridge. This was event number 2. One of my biggest things right now with the Go Throw is I'm literally looking it up right now. I have to go to UDisc, search up Persimmon Ridge, scroll till I find an event that's happening, which is this one, click it, then go and hit leaderboard, and then I can see who's winning. So it's like a 5-step process.
It's not a PDGA sanctioned event.
No, it's all on UDisc, and they have like the UDisc graded rounds, which is whatever. I mean, they do their own thing. But so by the time I was talking, granted I spelled persimmon wrong like twice, I just got to it. So that was a good, 30 seconds of me just scrolling when I feel like it could just be like the top of the homepage. But I don't know. Anyways, we'll go FPO first because there was nine women in the field here.
Well, before we even get into it, let's just I think we should maybe talk about Persimmon Ridge a little bit because that's might be your favorite course of all time that you've ever played.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. It favors the long throwers. There's a couple, kind of woody type shots. However, it's like a bomber's paradise out there. If you throw far, you will probably shoot pretty well. Couple difficult greens and things like that. That's kind of the hardest part. But it's a beautiful property. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. And if you have played it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Being my favorite, it's a toss-up between that and Idlewild, I think. I really like that one.
Yeah. Well, what's your highest rated course so far on the 50 states?
Persimmon Ridge is my highest so far.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you haven't watched, go watch it. But
you haven't played Idlewild yet, though. And Idlewild is the number one course in Kentucky.
It is. I've played Idlewild twice.
Well, I just mean in the sake of the series. You haven't played
it. Nine people in the FPO field. I don't know a lot of them.
Let me see some of these names.
So we'll just go Jennifer Smiley. Great name.
Shout out to Jennifer.
Smiley. Finished 14 down through the 2 rounds, which is that's really good.
That's really good.
I imagine there was actually now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if there's definitely shorter tee pads out there. I couldn't remember if that was FPO or they were playing the same layout as MPO, but Jennifer Smiley took it down.
What was her UDisc rating for the weekend?
235.
I think 300 is the highest.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
But 235 is the rate.
235.
So that's probably like a mid-900s, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
This is Maria, in parentheses, Nina Guerrero. Don't know who that is. Second place there.
Come on.
Emily Weatherman.
We know her.
Yeah, she finished podium there.
Would have expected higher.
Yeah. She only lost by 2 strokes there, so really not like bad. But that Taylor Chosek then finished 4th. And the only other people I know that played this are Deanne Carey and Eliezra Midling. The other people, I apologize if you watch this. I don't know who you are, so I am very, very sorry. But honestly, 14 down is crazy out there. I think even from shorter tee pads through 2 rounds, like she shot 8 down second round. I think I was watching the coverage earlier of round 1, and it looked like conditions were like pretty ideal. Like there was like wind present, but it probably wasn't enough to like even make you think about changing a disc. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Probably just changing the angle slightly of what you're throwing. But and what I do like about the Go Throw is that it's like an actual tournament, but it has like all other divisions as well, like all the way down to mixed junior, like 12 and under. So pretty cool that they do like the full fields. MPO here, hometown hero being it in Arkansas. Kevin Jones took it down at 17.
KJ needed that.
He did, definitely.
With his boys. He probably see that's the thing with Kevin though. He probably was like super comfortable.
Exactly. I think I forget. I mean, this very well inaccurate, but I think I heard it from Luke talking about on the coverage that Jake and Kevin have probably played Persimmon Ridge more than anybody. They're always out there. So definitely, I mean, once you have that kind of course knowledge, you're bound to shoot well out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just even knowing kind of like the secret, local lines, if you will.
Well, sometimes that can be like a double-edged sword a little bit because sometimes you're like in the opposite mindset where you know the course so well, it's like I have to shoot well. You know what I mean? So then when you like struggle, it like gets in your head. You're like, ugh, how am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that, but I mean, this is honestly a great win because there was
some decent guys out there.
I mean, Calvin finished second, Gannon finished third. So you have two of the top 3 players in the world that you just beat. Even though it's not like a pro tour event, it's still, if they're out there, they're going to compete.
Yep.
Sullivan Tipton had a good week. He was in the lead after round 1.
He's bound to get a win this year. I know I picked Aaron Gossage, and I still think Aaron Gossage could get a win this year. But if Aaron Gossage wins before the end of the year, I'm laying claim on Sullivan Tipton.
Yeah,
as my next guy to get his first win.
Yeah, and I think it's almost like guilty by association when you like, because I think he's touring with Gannon right now.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
That's
I think
cool.
they're like car buddies, but I think when you kind of associate yourself with guys of that caliber for that long, because they obviously hang out with Isaac and Ezra and Gavin and all those guys are so good. It's only a matter of time before one of them, then starts to like find their way as well. I think that's kind of the case for Ezra was that, Isaac was good, then Gannon was good, and now Ezra's good. It's like, who's next? And I definitely think it could be Sullivan. I think early prediction here, I think it's either going to be Sullivan or it's going to be Gavin Babcock.
I would love to see him get a win. I like Gavin. Hit the $10,000 raise or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was crazy. Everything he does is like just very, very smooth. Like he has all the pieces. I think it's just a matter of putting it all together.
Gavin also 125% reminds us, or at least reminds me of Clay Seacrest. He's a good friend of ours from college. Like was one of the first guys we started playing disc golf with, and like they are the same vibe, which is a cool vibe. So shout out to Clay if you watch this.
Yeah. There was a lot of Pro Tour guys out here, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I never know how many people are actually like going to go to these things. But I mean,
does it have money on there? Like how much they won?
No, it doesn't. I could probably find that on the PDGA website. But let me look at that real quick. But I mean, Cole Radolin was out there. Germ was out there. Jake was out there. Those were also guys that I just happened to see at the bottom of the leaderboards. But
Big Germ was a previous champion, I think.
He was last year, I believe. He was just on like the feature card for round 1. But I think the same way it seems like him and Jake were having some pretty poor putting
performances.
I can't look it up on the PDGA because it's not a PDGA event.
It's not a PDGA event.
So I have no idea how much money they made.
Okay. So what was the UDisc rating for Kevin?
Well, so his rating was 284, but I imagine it's for second round because Calvin shot a 10 down second round, and that's 302 rated. So that was probably like a high 1,000, but probably like a 1020, 1030 rated something.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still indifferent about the Go Throw Tour. I think what they're doing is good, obviously, because they're producing more disc golf, content, especially with now like you have, literally top players, the top player in the world playing these events.
Yeah.
My only thing is that I wish it was live. And I know that's like a whole other beast to like attack as far as production goes. But I think that's what it's missing. It either needs to be live or I'm not the one doing it. So again, it is what it is, but they need to get the coverage out like
a little faster
first thing in the morning. And I know that's just like more work for the guys that edit the videos and all the footage and do the scores. Like that's a lot to do. But as far as a viewer, like I think that everything came out at like 1:00 today.
Yeah.
Which is early, in retrospect, but it's like I would love to be able to wake up and watch it. Sure. I know that's like maybe first world problems, but that's how I feel.
Yeah. I feel like my like qualm with it is the same thing that I realized it was at the beginning, in that this is not really, it doesn't feel like a tour. It just feels like some random A-tier events that are near Pro Tour events, which is what it is. And I wanted it to feel more like a separate premier type of experience. And I think the only thing in my mind that's making it premier are two things. The courses they're playing are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the players that are there. Like, if they were just simply playing at those courses, I don't think that would be enough to, like, draw interest. But I think because you do have some high-caliber guys playing, that's, like, keeping it going. But I want them to just, like... It feels like I'm still watching GK Pro content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel different. And I know they, like, went with this whole rebrand, but it doesn't feel rebranded. In terms of the content, I just feel like I'm watching the same stuff. Mm-hmm. And now part of that is, like... that Luke Humphreys is kind of the guy on the commentating side, which I actually love. Like, Luke commentating is
him and Paul do great.
Paul Oman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're a great commentating duo. So that's not like a... If anybody from GoThrough ever sees this for whatever reason, don't change that part. But I do. I don't know if it's, making it live, making it... There be more events, or honestly, if there was just like they actually were okay competing a little bit with Pro Tour events. Because I think that... Maybe I'm wrong, but at least the tournament that's at Eagles Crossing, I think, is like pretty competitive in terms of prize purse with other Pro Tour events.
Yeah, it is, but I think that's just Eagles Crossing shelling out the money because they have it.
Sure, but I still sorry. So on that point, like, if they have the money to do it, I think they should just be committed to like making their product competitive.
Sure.
But I just don't think that's really what they even want right now. You know, I think that's what we want, but that's not, I think, what they're going for.
Yeah, I think, and maybe immediately, this is obviously like, maybe you could call it like beta test of on one, if people are going to show up, if people are going to like what they're producing, and then maybe, probably not even next year, but I would say like 5 years down the line, when they're maybe doing 10, 15 events instead of, what do they have, 5 or 6 this year? I think 5, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when it can kind of be like competition with the Pro Tour. You know what I mean?
And again, maybe that's just not what they're going for, which is fine. But I think maybe that's just something that I'm excited about, not because I don't like the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but just because I think there are some things that the Disc Golf Pro Tour could do better, but right now they have no reason to change what they're doing because there's nobody pushing them to do that. Yeah,
no, I 100% agree with that. That I think the Pro Tour is pretty, I don't know, maybe not necessarily. I'm thinking of a word. It's not content. It's complacent. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Complacent is like similar to ignorant.
Which I feel like could be the same thing. They know no one is going to take what they're doing for the time being, so it's like, why do we need to?
Why don't fix it if it's not broken?
Right. Yeah. Even though there's
a square wheel is still a wheel, but a round one is way more effective.
Right. So like, I think it's pretty obvious that there's some things the Pro Tour could do better, but at this time they don't need to change anything. You know what I mean?
Not the only event that was happening this weekend, though.
No, I think the other biggest one was the Jonesboro Open, which, having played that course as well, I love the course. I could definitely see why it's not on the Pro Tour. Just location-wise, it's very much like Emporia, where it's like people there like disc golf, but there's like no people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But apparently, I saw a few things. Apparently, Jonesboro is not on the Pro Tour this year because they're doing a ton of construction out there.
Oh.
So I don't know if there's going to be like a new course or they're just changing some of the holes or what they're doing there. But evidently there's some construction going on. So maybe next year they'll, circle back around to it. But I don't know. We're going to go, we'll stick with the FPO. This one definitely looks like, as far as, maybe not. I'm trying to see if there's more heavy hitters on the MPO side. Scroll down to the FPO here. 12 people. Kristin Latt was there. Raise your hand if you think Kristin Latt won. She did, and it's funny. I was talking about this earlier. Before I tell you the score, I am assuming she was pretty upset about how the Open at Austin went. She lost by 1 stroke, but shot 11 strokes over par on one hole alone, hole 18. So had she even just taken like triple bogeys, which for her are pretty astronomical, she wins by a few strokes. So, with that being said, let's get into the scores here. Kristin wins at 25 under par. Okay? And let me say this too. 2 rounds, 27 holes per. Is that
That
is
is astronomical. That's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
I mean, that's like, I don't know what they were trying to do or why, but like that's 3 rounds per round. You know, you basically played a 6-round event.
No.
27. Oh yeah, I'm thinking 18.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's bad. That's bad.
54 holes is equivalent to a
3 rounds.
event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what I'm thinking. That was stupid. That's tough. Can't cut that. Yeah. That's
But yeah,
bad.
that's a lot to play at once.
Right. Okay.
That's a round and a half per day
right.
in 2 days.
You're right. So 54 holes. She shoots 25 down. Second place.
Is that a 50% birdie rate? That's crazy.
Almost.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I won't make you do any more math, but
Yeah. Silva Saarinen, who is probably the next biggest name, and there's a few in here actually, came in second place at 2 down. So for those
of
that
you-
are good at math,
yeah.
that is 23 strokes
23 stroke difference
between
is
first and second place.
possibly the most dominant win of Kristin's career in the United States.
I believe the PDGA said that was the highest FPO like rating average. So she averaged like 1031 and a half or something like
Jeez.
that for the event.
That is silly.
It's just, obviously you have to shoot well, and this is like a quick rant about ratings. It's a 27 hole.
Yeah, I wonder how that affected
I feel like
ratings with
that
so many holes.
could probably skew that quite a bit. However, you obviously still have to shoot really well to do that. So, and I think actually outside of MVP, the Open at Austin, she's 1,000 rated right now. I bet that goes up,
I'm sure.
which is kind of crazy as well.
Yeah.
Silva Saarinen second. There was a few there. So like, it's funny. You actually basically just kind of go down.
Did a lot of people just use it as an off week?
I think so. Yeah. Rebecca Cox got third. Kat Murch, Katrina Allen, Chantel Budinsky.
All right.
and
So there's
then-
some people there.
Yeah, and then Maria Oliva. That's like, I think as far as like touring pros, that's
Okay.
who was there for that one. However, we do know how much. Not that it's like super relevant, but still, I mean, an A tier. Did you see how much?
I saw 4 digits.
How much do you think it was?
I was just gonna guess like 1,500.
Yeah, 1540 for an A tier, which
Pretty good.
I would take that.
It's more than any A tiers in our area.
Absolutely. I mean, MPO side had a lot of people too. We got Ben Calloway taking it down for the MPO side.
Honestly, it's one of those where Ben Calloway, I feel like, always shows up at Jonesboro.
Yeah.
I was telling Cameron that I feel like that was the first time I ever saw Ben Calloway or like heard much about Ben Calloway. I think it was the 2021 Jonesboro Open.
And
He
that's-
popped off round 1.
That's kind of when we got into disc golf.
Right. So
Professional disc golf.
Yeah, he popped off round 1 and was on lead card round 2, and I was like, oh, Ben Calloway. And I was like, right when Gomez was doing like the little player profile intro videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that he was there and then didn't like finish super well. I think he finished in the top 5 still, but he wasn't on lead card the last day. But yeah, so I just feel like he's always right in the mix at Jonesboro.
Yeah, it was funny. And obviously, like, good for him for picking up the win. And, I mean, there still are some, like, very, very capable players of winning in this field. But his post on Instagram made me laugh because he made it seem like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, a bad person, potentially.
He did make it seem like he won a Pro Tour event.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, it kind of is, but at the same time, it's really not, you know?
It's legitimately not. It's not that it's kind of not.
Right.
It
So
is not.
I don't. It just kind of made me laugh. But maybe that like was kind of like his white whale,
Sure.
you know, being so close. I feel like he is close every single year, so he gets.
I mean, there's still good guys that were in the field. You can't take it away from him. He still played the best golf on the weekend, obviously, but
yeah. Because I mean, Aaron Gossett second place by 2 strokes. He finished 27. He's not a Pro Tour winner, but he is a winner in his own right. Vino, who played really, really well last week, is back. Who else? Juna Heinonen, Euro friend of ours. I think he's sponsored by Innova, if I am not mistaken.
He doesn't have an Innova logo and anything he has on his shirt right there.
Innova's right there. He's pretty good. I saw Joel Freeman post about him the other day. And he was like parking like a 600-foot hole or something like that. I don't know if it was out at Jonesboro or something. Apparently it was like original 18 or something like that, plus 9 new holes. Oh. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have multiple courses out there or like A/B, locations, or I don't know what they're doing. But
I bet that was a little grueling just to have to play 27 holes in a day out there.
Well, and
it's already a long course as is.
Exactly, I was thinking about that too. Like it probably, as far as the I would say a lead card or a feature card, probably like out there, if I remember, probably took around 3.5 hours to finish the 18. So I bet they were pushing 5 hours by the time they were done.
That is a long round
That's
of disc golf.
long time.
That's a long time to be playing disc golf.
To be out there.
And it's a very hilly property. If you've never seen coverage of it from the past.
Have you been out there?
No, but it is a very hilly property.
It is. A lot of up and down, but that's actually it's very similar to Persimmon Ridge. Less or more trees than Persimmon Ridge, but tighter fairways, but it's like bomber's paradise. Like if you throw 500 feet, 550, like you're one of those top tier guys, you'll probably play pretty well out there. Because I know Thomas Gilbert typically plays pretty well out there.
Yeah, Double G I feel like has a good round or two out there.
Yeah,
years.
But good for Ben Callaway, I guess. Yep. I mean, I kind of like these in between tournaments because it gives guys like Ben Callaway and like Kevin Jones, who are obviously very good, gives them that boost of confidence to then maybe performing in an actual pro tour event.
Yeah.
And granted, actually Kevin's been having a decent year so far. I think he's finally settling into the Innova bag. But it'll be interesting to see. I always like to look at these tournaments, kind of like these off week tournaments, and see who plays well the next week. You know what I mean? To see if that the momentum carries.
Yeah. I wanted to read Ben Callaway's post just for context. It says, "I've come so close before, but now I finally seize the trophy. I'm elated to call myself the, in all caps, champion of the Jonesboro Open." But he has been very close multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it might just be a special thing for him,
Sure.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Actually, I think he's from Iowa, maybe. I was like, maybe he's local, but Ben Callaway, good for you. If you see this, we're happy for you. Just wish you, maybe
we wish this was last year. That was
absolutely there. Yeah, for sure. That's it. We actually had I didn't say this at the beginning, but I'm going to add it in between because I just remembered it. We had a local tournament. It was actually a Power Disc Golf Academy qualifier.
Oh, cool.
Down at Empire Park in Forsyth. We had ourselves a bit of a Ozark Mountain Discs playoff.
No
in
way.
The MPO side.
In the MPO side?
Yeah.
Was it like rivalry, friends turned to rivals?
No,
Nevada?
No. It was Nevada.
Nevada.
He ended up pulling it out. Ezra Piper.
In MPO?
He played MPO.
Let's go, Ezra.
Yeah, and
he's normally an MA1 guy, but he's been kind of balling out in MA1, so he made the jump at the right time, it looks like. Holy cow, do I see 10 down in round 2?
Yeah, he went crazy. And I even talked to him afterwards, and he said that he missed a lot of 20, 25 footers. So he could have had a crazy round. But I mean, Ezra averaging 994 for the event. So did Nevada. Oh wait, that checks out, right? Because they both shot it.
The same score. Cameron is struggling today.
It's one of those days, I guess. Wow. That did not even process in my brain. Jeez. But I mean, one, shout out Nevada for taking it down. 4-hole playoff, by the way.
Oh, that's so hype.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. And that's what, if you know Empire Park, hole 4 is an iconic, tight tunnel, all literally have to cross water to be in bounds. I guess maybe someone...
So it was on that hole?
It was on that hole. It was through 4.
Okay.
So, yeah, it ended on hole 4.
Nice. So somebody probably went out of bounds.
Right, that's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Well, obviously Ezra, if he did. But, I mean, I just want to give a shout out to Ezra because we joke all the time and we call each other sandbaggers when we play tournaments. But for him to take second place in an MPO tournament against... So he's 925. And again, ratings are pretty arbitrary. But we have 965, 983, 987, 967, and then a 913.
I mean, yeah, so he was probably, I mean, how many people were in MPL?
There was 6, it looks like.
So then he would have been the lowest rated guy.
There was one guy rated below him. So he's
okay.
out of
What did he finish?
last.
Oh, sorry, guy.
But yeah, I mean, being the second lowest rated and taking second, I guess, you know, honestly, Ezra is way better than 925 rated. But I mean, everyone's bound to shoot hot at some point.
Sure. Still exciting. Nevada's been at the top a lot this season.
Yeah,
so
he's been playing really, really good.
Excited to see that.
And then our last one was MA2. We had Damian Davis.
Come on.
For us. Yeah.
Damian.
Pretty awesome. He had a really, really good first round. He shot 7 down first round. Finished 6 down. So he shot 1 up second round, but it was still enough to take home the win. So
nice. Good for Damian.
Shout out Damian there.
That's awesome.
We're going to move on. We have our own tournament coming up.
Yeah.
April 27th. If you are not signed up, we encourage you to. It'll be a lot of fun. We got players packs for AMs. We probably have like 10 plus CTP prizes going down. So it'll be really, really fun. April 27th. I don't know if I said that.
Where's it at?
It's a Sunday, Lake Springfield, which
Springfield, baby.
in my opinion is probably, I would say is probably the nicest course in the area.
In the 417.
Is it hard? Absolutely. But it's like
it's not impossible. Like it's not impossible.
No, it's a challenging course, but it's like I also think it's pretty fair.
Yeah.
But signups will be in the description, so make sure to get signed up. I will be out there all day. It is a flex start. I don't think I mentioned that either. I think we said that a while ago, but for the sake of this episode, flex start. So show up anytime between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. You can get on and play. Signups actually, I think we've talked about not having them. A lot of times registration closes like 7 p.m. the night before. But if it's a flex and you're still kind of up in the air, and if maybe you can get off work or whatever it may be, you have some, I guess it's Sunday, so maybe you don't have work, but some obligation that you may have and you can show up, feel free to just sign up when you get there. You know, I think you can do that with me or on Disc Golf Scene, like while you're there. So encourage you to sign up. Again, link in the description. Do we have a prices wrong?
We have a prices wrong.
Today?
This one's not disc golf related, but it's one that fits you, and I like doing those.
Okay.
It's another van, actually. So this one...
we never talked about 50 states.
We can talk about 50 states
Okay.
in a second.
Okay.
Oh. Is there a way to go back to like ones I've just viewed? I literally scrolled off of it to try to turn the volume down on the little video it had, and it went away. I know what it was, so I'll just search it this time.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about 50 states while you're looking that up?
That sounds great.
50 states. I'm getting ready to go back out. I will be gone probably 2.5 to 3 weeks. I liked it to be a little bit of surprise, so you never knew where I was going or where I was at, but I think it'd probably be more fun if you can or you do know, so you can kind of like anticipate the courses. I'm going west coast this time. We're going to hit hopefully some great weather.
Yeah.
It's going to start in Oklahoma will be the first one. We're actually playing with one of our college buddies there. I am. But I want to say this, and I'll go through the courses. If you're in one of these states and you watch this and have time to play the course, I would love to, be shown the course or have someone to play it with, because there's been a couple layouts that I've played incorrectly, but I did have a broken phone when I wasn't able to follow UDisc, so I can do that now. But we're going to go Oklahoma, down to New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada. Then we're going up to Oregon, Washington. I have someone for Washington already. It's actually Chandler Fry, fun fact. Really looking forward to that. I'm glad he agreed. Then we're going Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, and I think we're finishing with Kansas on this last one. So I think that's 12 courses, and it'll be interesting. I'm actually going to, I believe, if everything times up right, I will be in Kansas, and this course is it's like the Kansas side of Kansas City, right as like the KC Wide Open is starting. So potentially nice. I might just stop in for that if someone will have me on the bag.
Sure.
But yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready for that.
I've got a Price is Wrong ready for you.
Let's go.
Okay. Like I said, this is a conversion van. It's a 2010 Chevy Express. is the type of van.
Classic. It's pretty similar to what my first one was.
Here's the description. A 2010 Chevy Express 2500 heavy-duty commercial cargo van conversion with custom-built interior including a full-size bed, refrigerator/freezer, sink, 120-volt electrical outlets, and tons of storage space in cabinets, drawers, and under the bed. Curtains and window coverings are provided. It has AM/FM radio, just in case you were wondering.
Sure.
Laminate wood floor and wood plank ceiling with recessed pot lights on dimmer switch.
Wow.
2 roof-mounted solar panels, charge 2 battery packs for continuous power with built-in inverter to power lights, outlet, ceiling fan, and fridge. Tires are in great shape. A strobe light on the roof, is disconnected. Interesting. Drives flawlessly and easy to park anywhere.
Okay.
Everything works as intended. 187,000 miles. Recently detailed inside and out. Very reliable.
Can I get a picture?
I've got a video. Looks like potentially a short ceiling.
It is, yeah. So basically, for those that don't know, the Chevy Express is almost like a 15-passenger van. I'm going to go gut feeling. I'm going to go 15,000.
That is an incredibly close guess. It comes in at a whopping $16,000.
Wow.
$16,000.
That's pretty respectable.
And that could be your Chevy Express.
Is that local?
Illinois.
Okay.
But it's hard because there's so many states border Missouri, you know.
Sure, yeah.
All right, we got a question of the day, and then we're out of here. Pretty interesting one this time. The question is kind of theoretical, but the question is, what professional do you think you could beat at your home course if you played your absolute best and they played their absolute worst? So think about maybe what you would consider your home course, and then, if you played at your absolute ceiling, what do you think you would shoot? And then what is a professional that at their absolute worst, your best could beat them? What do you think?
Well, okay, so it's nice. It'll be harder for you, I think, because
let's try to stick to guys that were in the Pro Tour Championship last year. You know what I mean? Because technically, professional disc golfer is
sure they have their tour card. Let's say that.
That's good. That's good.
I would say because this is interesting. So my highest rated round ever, and that's where I can kind of go that's my peak at this point. Was it right at 1,000 or 1,003 or something like that? No,
is that
the
Nixa?
one in Nixa.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 1,008 actually.
Okay, so 1,008. So I have about that much. So okay, I'm gonna say Brody Smith. Granted, I don't think he's a tour card holder.
I don't think he has a tour card.
Shoot,
I know mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, you have to correct me. I think he's a tour card holder, but I'm not totally sure. And I think mine is a little bit of a scam, but it is what it is. So for me, I think I know that at my best, because I'm thinking about this theoretically, not what I've done before, but at my best, I think I could shoot 18 under par at Group Ball.
Sure. That's very possible.
So I think at my best I could do that, and I think that at this particular person's worst, they potentially would not do that.
Okay.
So I think on my best day, if I shot 18 under, I would get more birdies than this person. And give me Parker Welk.
Okay.
Do you think, does he have his tour card? I think he does.
I think so.
If not Parker Welk, then give me Culver Dahlem. Either one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I could get 18 birdies and they would, mess up one shot, especially having never played there before.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could see that.
I feel like I'm kind of cheating the system a little bit there.
Yeah.
But that's how I interpreted the question.
Sure. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. So, geez, I don't know. I like Brody Smith as my answer. I know we said tour card holder, but realistically, I think on his worst day, I could beat him on my best day. But give me, geez, I'm blanking on everybody I possibly know right now. Give me, I don't even think Thomas is tour card holder. Shoot, I'm really struggling here. Actually, throw out some names for me
of tour card holders.
Yeah.
You got Isaac, Ezra, you got Ezra Aderhold, you got Aaron Gossage, Paul Ulibarri has one.
Oh, man, this sounds, it's funny how arrogant you sound when you're thinking about this or saying it now. I think on Paul Ulibarri's worst day, I could beat him on my best day. That's my answer.
At any given course?
At any given course, yeah. I think he might throw a little bit further than me, but
I don't want to be that guy, but I think he throws a lot further than you.
Well, sure, yes, he does. But I'm just saying, I think even if he does throw further on my best day, because I probably throw forehands further than he does.
Oh, that's an interesting take. He throws good forehands.
Yeah, but he doesn't have it like that, I don't think. But anyways, my first answer, Brody Smith. Second answer, Paul Ulibarri.
Just going for the Tour Life podcast.
Apparently, yeah. That'd actually be kind of fun to see. But I believe that's it.
All right, that's going to be it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching this week, sticking with us. We'll be virtual the next couple of weeks while Cameron is traveling, but then we'll be back in the studio as soon as we can. But until then, we'll see you guys next week. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
We're pushing 1,800. Sorry to interrupt you there when you were in the flow, but we're pushing 1,800 subscribers.
Yeah.
Is that kind of insane?
That's pretty wild.
I mean,
so really, why don't you just take it to the ceiling? We're pushing 2,000 at this point. It's been growing at a pace that we were not anticipating at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of had a goal to get to 1,750 by the end of March, and we beat that by like a couple of days. And so that was a huge blessing that you guys have been joining with us and being a part of that. And so, yeah, super, super thankful for that.
Absolutely.
We got more to come.
I'll let you finish it now.
Yeah. It's not going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. We're going to keep giving you guys more videos. Let us know if you guys like what you see. Let us know if you want to see new things from us. We're happy to do whatever we can. We're going to be trying to break another world record here pretty soon, but we'll get some dates out for you guys in the future. But we'll see you guys in the next one.